Alright, let's do a regular credit. Oh, I shouldn't do auto bomb on. Uh-oh. This could be very bad.
Good luck. 市街地から侵入してください。
There we go, got it. Still not perfect technical, but pretty easy. Shoom. Heck yeah, we are shoomping. Yeah, so Charlene, I don't know how much you know about like the more esoteric mechanics of SDOB, but something that I only found out relatively recently is you actually get differently sized stars depending on where your gauge is, like your chain gauge is when you kill certain enemies. Did I get both of them? I don't know. Yeah, in normal, this is like such an easy stage. So yeah, at the very start, the reason that I was using shot on basically all of the enemies in the opening section is because that is the easiest way to keep your chain meter almost max. So like if you look at the chain meter, there's this little rectangle at the very top of it, and when that turns gold, that means that you're able to get these bonuses. So you'll get big stars, or you'll get multiple big stars if that's completely full. And that's the difference between coming out of stage 1 with 4 hypers and coming out of stage 1 with 6 hypers. So here I did like relatively average, I got like 5.8, something like that. So since I'm just kind of messing around, we'll see what happens, but like ideally I'd like to see something around. So like those big stars I got there from those fixed turrets on the ground, that's because of what I was just talking about. I'd like to see 7 hypers by the mid-boss. So if kill that too. So normally I try to delay kill that big tank, but I got out of position a little bit because I didn't kill that popcorn star. It's also true for these guys. So these guys will drop big stars if the chain is maxed when you kill them. Otherwise they drop nothing. I dropped my finger again. And again, this is like the chain timer, the GT meter, whatever you want to call it. So I'll get 7, I believe. Pretty sure. Yeah, 7. So, fun setup here. Oh, I didn't do it quite right. But, so I killed that a little too early. But there's a fun setup for a little bit of extra score in this stage. When you first activate a hyper, everything on the screen will be cancelled into stars. And depending on the level of hyper, you get small or large stars. So if you have a level 6 or greater hyper, you will get large stars during that cancel. And the large stars each give you like 10 hits on your chain. So right there, what I was trying to do is set up so that the hyper cancel canceled at least 2 of those rings that the boss shoots out during the last phase of that attack when the rings are extra dense. The other thing that hypers do when you have more than 5 of them, so the number of hypers you have also adds a multiplier to the get point value. See if I remember my route for this. Yeah, I remember that route. cool. It also adds a multiplier to the get point value of enemies. So, and of course, then, sorry, that pattern scares me. It also adds a multiplier to the get point value of enemies. And for hyper levels 1 through 5, it just adds a very small multiplier. So like it's enemy get point times 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc. But when you hit hyper level 6, it suddenly jumps up to 2.2. And it goes in bigger steps at that point up to 3.0. If you have 10 hypers, I think you get times 3.0. Yeah, I didn't notice the gold indicator for a long time. Yeah, so this is actually one of the key reasons that people want they want to have really high hypers when they're going for the overflow, is because when you have a really high hyper, it increases the GP value. And the GP value is directly correlated to how the overflow goes. So if you have the times 3 buildup of your, the GP counter for each enemy, then obviously you're going to be reaching 23 million or whatever the specific breakpoint is for the biggest server. So you'll be reaching it a lot faster than if you're trying to get there with only times 1.5. So, and then that has some interplay with the hyper recharges. So you want to end up with hyper recharges based on like effectively bullet density, which is another reason why people play for low rank when they're also playing for high score. Because the slower the bullets leave the screen, there we go, yeah, nice big hits. The slower the bullets leave the screen, the more hits you'll get off of it, but also the big stars contribute to your hyper recharge. So you'll end up in situations where times 2, that's fine. So like the reason that worked and that I got a times 2 there is that killing that enemy well in hyper caused all the bullets that are currently on screen to be cancelled into stars. But they would have been cancelled into small stars if I was not in hyper. Since I was in hyper, they were cancelled into big stars. And the result of that is that you have a lot of these big stars come in, and if you have big stars collected while you're not in hyper, then you build up your hyper meter really, really fast. So that's the key behind the whole recharge system. Cool. It's the key behind the whole recharge system, and the primary reason that people want to go for the big, like full screen plays when going for overflow. Because the hit counter is not one-to-one correlated with GP values, to my knowledge. Although there might be something where like the value of stars when you collect them is incremented slightly based on the current number of hits or something. That sounds right. $21 thank you, Simon. So then here, like these big guys, since my chain was nearly max, it doesn't need to be literally in the gold. There's like a bit of a leniency around it, but since the chain is nearly max when I killed those first 2 big gliders, I got a whole bunch of the big stars, and as a result, I built up like 3 hypers there. So, what else? Stage 3 point blanking. I'm really bad at this, but I'm going to try for it anyway. So if you point blank to stage 3 boss. Ah, shit. you can kill it really fast.
敵機信号の弱体化を確認。そのまま攻撃を続行してください。敵機にダメージ効いているようです。ハイパーシステムレディ。敵の内部から熱源反応を確認。注意してください。
The other thing is, coming into the third phase of this boss with a level 5 or more hyper, you should be able to kill it before it poses any threat.
敵本体へのダメージを確認。もう少しです。敵部隊に動きがありました。新たなミッションを転送します。
So you can do that if you have a level 5 hyper or more. You'll kill the final phase before it has a chance to be a threat. And you can use the hyper even during the second phase, and it'll last so long that you'll get through the final phase without having to dodge. I'm a little worried now actually because I'm not great at stage 4. Certainly not particularly used to that way of opening. I've never had a level 10 there before.
Hyper system, stand by. システム臨界点までカウントスタート。大型機との接触まで距離500です。楽しませてくれるんでしょ。ハイパーシステムスタンバイ。
Other things, you really want a hyper going into the stage 4 new boss if you can help it. There's a few different places you can use it, but basically in the first half of the fight, using a hyper is a good idea if things get hairy. And then you want to point blank during this attack and do as much damage as you can. And ideally you can kill it during that attack, like that. So what I did here was take a little bit of extra risk at the start of the fight. Normally I would actually have used the hyper right away when dodging the blue and red kind of spirals, the opener. Because that attack is incredibly hard to consistently dodge, in my opinion, in shot and laser. It's just like, it's way scarier than it looks like it should be. Like, it looks so easy, but it is absolutely unreasonably terrifying. Ah! This is very bad now. Uh-oh, this is also very bad. No! Ah, this is so bad. I'm gonna have to die again before the stage 4 boss. Unless I just like magically do stage 4 boss correctly somehow. But highly unlikely. Yeah, this is real bad. Stage 4 opener is hard. I don't really have a consistent strategy for it, but generally I try to go from one side to the other. Wow, I'm an idiot. Just unbelievably dumb. This run has quickly become terrible. There's a point blank strat here, but I'm not going to go for it right now because I don't have very many lives. I'm going to bomb this. Oh, shit. Okay. I'll hyper by accident. Damn it. I'm gonna bomb here. I don't know how to deal with that pattern. I'm gonna have a hyper. Bullets so fast. Haha, bullets super. Here, if you stay really close to the edge on the side that they come out of, they won't have a chance to like start coming into the center very much. Oh, I didn't realize you played as DOJ Van Arctic. That's really cool. Time for death.
Mission start. 敵の最深部へ侵入し、中枢を破壊してください。ハイパーシステム、レディ。
Wait, maybe I have Van Arctic confused with Kagara in my mind about Mr. Joe. No, he also played. Damn. Who am I thinking of? I feel dumb. I'm having a moment. I'm SBA winning. Okay. This guy's nice because you can just tap everything. This attack is a little tricky. If you get bad RNG, it can be really scary. This one is just gross. I do not have a strategy for this attack. Here is a safe spot on this side. Oh, I thought I was going to hit a tank or something.
パーシステム起動。ボムアイテム回収したい。
Yo.
ハイパーシステム
Nice. Alright. Alright. Damn. Thought I was gonna get in there.
システム臨界点までカウントスタート。
Ah. This is very bad now. Don't have the resources. Alright. Thank you. Alright. Thank you. Alright. Thank you. No! Shit. This is very bad. English subtitles would be great. I really hope they do that. There's some precedent for it too, because Akato Blue has subtitling for the EXA release that it did not have in the smartphone version. Like the smartphone version has a translated end credit sequence, but it does not have translated like in-game subtitles. And the EXA label release does have in-game translation. So this attack is really stupid. Okay, cool. Shit. Okay, this is very bad now. Almost certainly gonna die in just a second. It's just so mean. I just don't know how to deal with it at all. There's like a safe spot I've seen some people use. Where like you can actually go up and down between the waves and misdirect from the way. Kind of cool. May not look like much, but that attack is actually shocking and dangerous. As is the case on export, you want to try to misdirect this to the side, which I didn't quite do. See if it lines up. No, it didn't line up well. So if that attack lines up cleanly, it's actually not very hard to dodge at all. But if it lines up kind of like where it did for me, where it's sort of diagonally down below you, it can be really hard to dodge it. This attack is challenging. Mostly you want to look ahead at the blue bullets and see where the lane is going to be, because that's where you're going to have to stay. I didn't want to use that hyper there, because it's a resource that I need for the final battle. But I didn't really have a good option there. Come on. Nice. Nice. I was not at all expecting to clear. I was expecting to just have like a kind of like a fun commentary run to give some pointers to new players, but apparently I cleared. Sweet. Curious what the stock bonus is, because I've never cleared with clear lives before. Oh no, that's not true. No, that is true. Is it true? I don't remember. It may or may not be true. Oh, it's 1 billion per! Sick! That might be like a second place farm score now? No, not second. Probably like 4th or 5th. Because this is shot type. A lot of people play shot. Let me check. Ah yeah, super player. Totally ignore the million mistakes I made in that run. Is this the new thread or the old thread? I don't remember. Alright, so that is a 6th place. Yeah. No. 7th place, I believe. So that's cool. I'll take that. Was not expecting that at all. I actually do have a better run with Type C, but it was played on the unpatched version of the... I love this end credit picture. Oh yeah. It's played on the unpatched version of the 360 port, so there's a little bit of extra slowdown. Yeah, Shuri's good. Sweet. Alright, so I gotta stay up for another 2.5 hours at least. So... Is it Blue Revolver time? Or should I do like 1.5 or something? I saw that. Donbo made a wiki page. Pretty cool. Shit. No.